Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Benzinga's PreMarket Prep. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick. Actually, kind of a quiet news day this morning. We've got a couple earnings, a couple ratings on our radar. We have Nokia falling. We're going to talk about that. But aside from that, not a ton on our radar. So we will look for tickers in the chat today and see what comes up during the show. Our guest today is Todd Gordon, CNBC contributor and tradinganalysis.com founder. He would join us at 8:35 via Skype to give us some trading ideas. In the meantime, Joel, what's the word here in the overnight session? Joel, you with me?
Joel's just staring off into space.
No, I'm not. I just like this elusive mute button. I was just like mousing.
I'm telling you, man. On Skype, they like move it around on you, and you have to hit it 3 times in order to mute. Not once, not twice. You have to click it 3 times. And every morning you wake up, your camera doesn't work on Skype. And you think it's my computer. And I was talking with somebody yesterday, and he's like, I can't get my camera to work on Skype. And I was like, did you download the new Skype? He's like, yes. Well, okay, that's your problem. New Skype sucks. So anyways, you have to restart your computer every day for your camera to work, and you have to hit the mute button 3 times. Microsoft, fix your crap. Anyways,
I guess
that's my rant on Skype.
I guess Microsoft will not be sponsoring the show anytime.
No,
soon.
I have the full-on hate. There's nothing I hate more than Microsoft, and I know the stock's at all-time highs, so nothing to do with the stock, obviously, but I've had so many issues over the years with different Microsoft products. They just have bugs. And I don't know why it's at $120, but whatever. I guess, this market's independent from company fundamentals. So I guess they got a lot of good stuff too. Maybe I just have bad luck with Microsoft products. But regardless, we digress once again, and the show's only been going on for 1 minute. So bring us back in, reel us back in. Mr. Elconin, now that your mute button is off of mute.
Yeah, I've rebooted my computer 4 times this morning because I see red on the screen, and every time I come back, we're in the red by 14.25 handles here, 28.48.50. Just missed yesterday's high in the after hours trading, so that's a big number now on the upside. 66 the high from yesterday, 64.75 is the pre-market high, and the close right there as well. We're just hanging here at the daily pivot. I don't have a ton underneath 47.50 here, but in the morning, if we hold this low in the area, drift back up to the 56 handle. Crude put in a double top at the 60.35 area, down 58 cents at 59.40. Gold up 490, trying to break out, but really not going anywhere at 13.12.20. Silver in the green by 2.8 cents at 15.46.5. So yes, Anders boy, I am happy. Michigan did advance, and congratulations to you, Spencer. Maryland did by the skin of their teeth. So
ask me how my bracket went.
How'd your bracket going?
I got 15 out of 16 right.
What?
That's a good start. There's another person, Joe, in my bracket in my pool. He got 14 right. So then everybody else is like 13. So yeah, I have a couple upsets in there. So 15 out of 16. The only one I didn't get, I had Syracuse. That was the only one I did not get.
Yeah, they did lose.
It was close. I was close to a perfect bracket. When I went to bed last night, I was like, I'm gonna have a perfect first night. I'm like, this will be awesome.
Unreal.
I even had Murray State.
Yeah, they got that really good player. I think he's Jonah Granite or something. I think he's going to be a lottery pick.
John Morant.
I'm in an eight. What'd you say, Spencer?
John Morant.
John Morant. I'm in 8th place out of 290, but
How many did you get?
14.
Oh, that's pretty good too. Not like my 15.
No.
Who'd you not get? So who are your 2?
I didn't even look at the 2.
They're early yet. It's early.
Yeah. But some good games, more games today, so the markets will be.
Wait. Do you want to know where I am?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm tied for 895th out of 1131.
So you got like 8 right?
No, I'm in like the 60th percent or 40th percentile. So I'm getting there.
It's early yet, Spencer. It's early yet. Anyways, it's going to be tough to take Duke out. So we'll see Duke how they do here today. But that Mount Zion guy, man, you good ball player.
All right, let's move on.
All right, this is Stocks and Jocks. We keep taking over from Stocks and Jocks on Tuesday. This is Stocks and Stocks. So let's do right to the earnings report here from last night. And don't ask me where I shorted Nike, and don't ask me where I covered it, because you will shake your head at me.
Okay.
Give us the numbers.
right.
I'll tell you what
I'm going to guess. Can I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, go ahead. Give us the numbers.
Give us the numbers, and Joel's going to guess.
All right. So apparently we're focused on the North American sales this morning, which is apparently why it's down. But the earnings were good yesterday. The Q3 EPS 68 cents versus 63-cent estimate. Sales of 9.61 versus 9.55 billion dollars. And I guess we're saying their North American sales were weaker than expected. And I guess that's why we're down $4 here, but that's what they say.
And media always finds a reason, so I ignore most of their reasons because they're usually just making stuff up. Fake news. Anyways, Joel, so your guess as to what I did and what I did wrong.
I will say that you shorted it at 89 and you covered at 89.40.
Close. Do you see that little bar, that little gray bar up there?
Yeah.
I got off an 89.88 short.
Okay.
What was the high?
It went almost to 90.
What was the high?
89.98.
Yeah, so I missed the high by 10 cents shorting it. And the reason I was doing that, I was out there just like it dipped on the initial number. It actually dipped. You won't see it on that bar down to about 86 and then ripped higher. It was just like no liquidity in there. And I was like, there's got to be some size at 90 to lean on. So I threw out an 89, 88. I want to get in front of the people who are leaning on the side as well. So I want to get out in front of the 90s. So I went, I think it was 88 or 85, right in the 80s, upper. I think it was 88. And then it was just whipping. It was like 89, and then it was 90, or like 89, 90. So it's like a buck wide. So I just like throw out the low bid, and I got filled at like 89.02. So I did a pretty good trade. It was like 90 cents in like literally 3 seconds. Then I threw it back out there. I was like, I'll do it again. And I just watched it fall to 88 and fall to 87 and fall to 86 and fall to 85 and fall to 84. And it's now the 83 handle. And I was like, why did I cover for 90 cents? I mean, risk reward was probably not there to do that. I could have blew through 90 and been at 92 in my face. So anyways, the scalper blood in me gets me once again. I would have had an awesome short had I just held for 5 minutes.
We're just kicking around here. We just made a low at the pre-market session here at 83.08, and we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. So we'll keep an eye on that for continued downside. With the dailies, what do you got here? You got an 82.87 low on February 11th. So we'll keep an eye on that area. 83 holds. I think you got a chance to get back some of these losses. If not, you can get a pretty quick drop to under $82. And just be aware that you had 5 lows in a row. I'm going to call it 81.80. So if you take out that 83 and it looks like you're just going to crush 82, just be aware that you did have quite a few lows. Let's call it 81.75.
Stock still, the trend is going to be challenged here today, but it's been very strong. So this is still a candidate for buying on the dip. It's worked so many times. It always gets a little scary when they start to break trend, though. Like, in the case of Oracle, which we talked about, and we said, Oracle always bounces back. When you look at 3 months later, it's always back. Well, it came back in 3 days, and right back up to the highs. So the 51 was heavily bought. I don't know in this case. Let's see what happens. But I never want to be selling the dip, because you're losing a lot of money by selling dips. It's been buying the dip here for the better part of the last couple of months. We took about 6 months off in late 2018 from buy the dip working, but we know before that it was the best strategy for basically 2016, 2017, and half of 2018. So buy the dip continues to work in this environment as well. So if you're looking at me saying, what do I think about Nike? It's probably buy the dip.
Okay. All right. S&P.
Seems so easy and so ridiculous that it's like, okay, well, it can't work again, but it just continues to work.
All right. S&P slipping a little bit more, down 16 handles now at 46.5. I did see some weak European data, and also China was in the red too. But Spencer, let's stay on track with some earnings.
All right, let's go to. There's a couple. Where should we go?
Do Tiffany's.
All right, we'll do Tiffany's from this morning. TIF reporting as I pull the numbers up here. Give me 1 second. Tiffany, and pull the chart up. Q4 adjusted EPS $1.60, missed by a penny. Sales of 1.32 versus 1.34 billion dollars. So slight misses on both Q4 numbers for Tiffany. They gave some guidance. They said their comps for the fiscal year are going to be up in the low single-digit range on a year-over-year basis, and that was a little bit light.
Investors not having breakfast at Tiffany's here today. Stock trading down $5
Nice one.
on the news. Everybody got this wrong yesterday. They bought it right up into the print, and it's given it all back. Again, though, do you fight the dip or do you go sell the dip? I mean, in so many cases, sell the dip just does not work. So I'm not selling the dip either on Tiffany.
Let's see here. We're off the pre-market low, and it's interesting because we spiked down to 94 a couple times, but quickly rebounded. So we are $1.30 away from that. So someone really wanted to bring in the stock at 94 here. We'll see if they got all their stock done when it comes back down. I think that if they manage to take out that buyer at 94, I don't really see anything in the dailies there. Maybe 94.33, a little bit higher. But I guess 92.70, if you're looking for more on the short side, that was your March 8th low of 92.70. So that's a potential target for you shorts. Coming back on I mean, this thing is just kind of chopping around. A ways to go. 96.49 is the bottom of yesterday's range. So that could be, that's only $1 away here if you're looking for a gap fill from the lower end. But nice slow rally up here, pull back. Let's see if the buy the dippers come in again.
Well, there's no dip to be bought in HIBB Sports. Is this Reverend stock, HIBB? He was in there for a while. Is he still in there?
Yep.
He's had some calls, man.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of pain. You know, he's always a contrarian investor, and he's buying when the stocks are going straight down and they get cheap, and then he loads up. And I know what, he's being paid here this morning. Things up 17%. So Reverend Emmanuel Emelson, if you're listening, nice call on HIBB Sports.
Yep, I guess this is our retailer up 20% this morning. Q4 EPS 57 cents versus a 38-cent estimate. Sales of 306 versus $279 million. So a beat on both the Q4, the EPS and sales in the Q4. Their comps were up 3.8%. They also gave some guidance. The guidance for the fiscal year was strong. EPS guidance beat by about 25 cents. Comps for the fiscal year, they gave a range of down 1% to up 1% on a year-over-year basis. So strong EPS guidance and some strong earnings for HIBB Sports.
I mean, our 20% rule that there has to be a retailer up or down 20%, it seems like. This is up 17, so this is a prime candidate to go up 20. I'll leave my analysis at that. There's some deep analysis there.
Yeah.
CFA stuff there.
Just bumping up at the highs of the pre-market session. We got a bump here to 21.25, just on that last bracket. You're only a dime away. I'd like to see us get up to 21.60. That was 21.50 was your September high from last year. So if you get through that, things open up on a monthly basis. But let's get up and get over 21.50 first. I'll call that your first resistance point. And on a pullback here, man, it's hard to, I don't know where to find support in this thing, guys, because since the report and it made the high, 20.55 was low on your last 15-minute bracket.
This is market is getting ugly here. Do we have a catalyst here overnight why we're down, or is this just simple profit taking from yesterday? I mean, it was a rip your face off rally there yesterday. A lot of times you get follow through. We're getting none of that here this morning. Obviously selling off 17 handles here now. What's going on?
Make it 19 handles. Just the weak European data is all I saw. China's in the red a little bit. Just some profit taking perhaps after yesterday's big run.
Profit taking ensues. We got two other earnings stocks there I had of note. CTAS It's the company that makes brings in and cleans up and does the floor mats in your stores and does everything else there too, I guess. CTAS.
Yep, CTAS and JK Solar on my list. So we'll do CTAS first. Q3 EPS yesterday, $1.84 versus $1.71. Sales of 1.68 versus $1.69 billion. So an EPS beat and a slight miss for the Q3. They gave guidance as well. The fiscal year EPS guidance coming in higher than estimates. Fiscal year sales guidance was in line. So that's a good report.
All these charts look the same, besides the HIBB one, which went up. I mean, they all look the same. They're all stocks that are in significant uptrends. They're all stocks that have had a great January, February, kind of consolidated in March ahead of the numbers, and now they're giving it back. So the question is, do all these dips get bought or do they continue to get sold? I mean, a lot of it's going to be dependent on the overall market here too. How's sentiment out there? They start buying the dip in the market, they'll probably buy the dip in these individual stocks as well. I mean, you got a key support area, psychological level, $200 on CTAS, $200.18 was low on the 7th. You can call this a little triple bottom. Then you had $199.70 and $199.97. That's three lows within 50 cents of each other on a $200 stack. We'll round it and call it $200. I mean, that's the level it needs to hold.
Where's it? I mean, I see it trade down. I see 200.
Wide, very
Wide.
wide. $200.48 is an odd lot for 17 shares, so that doesn't really count. Then you go all the way down to, before you can find anything, 198.22, and they're just adding them up to get you a 100 share bid there. Or actually, there is a 100 shares bid there on NSDQ. And then the offer is way up at 204.89. So you're talking about a stock that's 6 points wide. This is why it's difficult to trade these things right off earnings, some of these smaller ones, because they're just wide. There's nothing in there. So, I mean, you could say, okay, I'm going to play it. If I'm wrong, we get out. There's no out. There's nothing in there. So anyways, this is another one that, I think you got some support in there, but it's this $200 stock. This thing could just get wild on you too. There might be nothing in there off the hop.
If Dennis says it's thin then, because I know you'll trade just about anything.
Then
after that $200 level, if in fact that doesn't hold, 198.02 comes in at a daily low, and then you got to drop to 195. So there's a potential area of support, but you need the liquidity to come in on this one first. So let's see what happens at $200 in Cintas. And they do uniforms too?
Yeah, they do all that stuff.
Okay. All right.
Last one, we're done earnings parade. JK Solar, another stock that is looking the same here this morning, and it had a little bit of weakness ahead of the numbers here. The other ones are kind of strong ahead of it. This one's weak ahead of it. Well, it's weak after it too, because we're trading down 5% in the pre-market. How'd we do?
EPS 40 cents versus 55 cents. Sales 1.12 versus $1.21 billion. So a miss on both of the Q4 numbers. Their total shipments, solar module shipments for the quarter were up 22% on a quarter-over-quarter basis. But the headline numbers missed.
I mean, we saw CSIQ get the beats major yesterday. They opened, and it was trading down in the pre-market, but they opened and slaughtered it. And it went all the way down to $19, losing 5 or 4.5 points. And that's on a $24 stock. So that's an impressive move downward. That makes me scared to be coming in and buying the initial dip on JKS. Like, I think you got room all the way down to 16. That's a long ways down from here, but that's where you got the triple bottom. So I think you got major support down at 16, a lot of little minor support levels before that. So hard to just step in here at 1849 in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, 1826 is as low as they've been able to take it at this point, but I did look at the CSIQ after the open, and there was no mercy on that trade.
Mercy. Scary to jump in these things on weak earnings.
So under $18, I only see one low at 1781, so I can't put a lot of faith in that. Another low at 1710, but the major area, I don't think we're going to see $16 today. But Dennis mentioned a great area of support. 3 consecutive lows, 1607 to 1616. First things first, let's take out that pre-market low.
All right, let's go over to the ratings parade. And there is actually some really interesting ones here this morning. I'm going to go to Lululemon first, LU. That is getting downgraded here this morning at Wedbush. They are playing contrarian here because the stock was straight up yesterday, and it's actually been in a pretty good uptrend here. Well, I guess it had the big move in January, kind of consolidated February, March, and now it's forming some resistance in the 150 area. Well, you're not going to challenge that today because you're going the other way, down $3. Lululemon, LU with downgrade from Wedbush.
Trading at the lows of the pre-market session, and that low is 144.83. I guess you are a buck above that. Man, I don't see anything. What do we got here on the dailies? Is there anything good here in the dailies? Yesterday's low or 44.54. So that kind of we haven't even hit yesterday's low yet in this one. So keep an eye out for that, folks. If you don't, in fact, take out the low from yesterday, boom, I think you could get a potential rebound under the low of 144.54. Boy, look out! $2 drop to the 2-day low of 142.13. So we'll see if this can rebound. Buy the dippers could be in here. A lot of people sitting on a lot of profits though from earlier in the year. The stock ended 2018 at 120.64.
Mr. Israel, give us some other highlights there from ratings land.
All right, there's some interesting ones like you mentioned. Chipotle, this is funny. Chipotle getting upgraded this morning at Wedbush. Thank you very much.
Holy, this is the definition. When you go and open your dictionary and you look up the phrase late to the party, there is a picture of Wedbush here. This is the very definition of being so late to the party. The stock was $400 when we started the year. It's $670. It's up like 70% this year, and you're upgrading it now
to neutral. No,
come on,
to neutral.
Come on, to neutral. Just totally, we were dead wrong about this, and we got to upgrade it now so we don't look bad. So they're gonna upgrade at the top. So, anyways, no way am I buying a stock that's run this far now. You're completely chasing it if you come up here now. It's also, you're coming back into the 2014, 2015 highs. So, are you going to just fly through the 700 area and 720? There's all kinds of tops in there. So, man, this is just sold to you.
Okay. I'm just going to just remember what we said about Apple yesterday. And I'm just going to reserve my comments.
Wait, what's their price target? 671. Aviator One maybe is joking there. What was the price target on this, Spencer? With the upgrade from Wedbush? Yeah, price target.
Yeah, 640. 640.
All right, so they're upgrading to neutral, and they raise their price target from what? Were they like 400 or something?
500 to 640.
Yeah, okay, complete 100. We're 140 points wrong here, so we're gonna try to. Sorry, Wedbush, if you're listening, but that's just you're just so late to the party.
Okay. Well, they got it up trading a couple bucks here, up 205 at 672.50. That's the high of the move. Now the high of the move is 680. We hit that yesterday. So if you're looking for a target, 680 here. If it starts to go red and it starts to take out the close, then I think they'll blow this off. Yesterday's low, 667.81 here. So that's what it's looking. It's working for now. So let's see. If you're trying to short it here, though, not much to lean on. Recent high of the move, 680, and wow, CMG, that's a lot of burritos.
What about Best Buy catching an upgrade this morning from, I believe, Oppenheimer? Is that right? No, wait, Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
yes.
It's Oppenheimer.
To outperform here at Best Buy.
So they think there's more. I mean, okay, this is a little bit of a better call because you had the earnings. It's held from there, and it's been bumping its head up again. It wants a catalyst to go higher here. So I can argue, this is a better one. And there is some room here. There's some room to 75.80 on this chart here. So I don't mind this upgrade.
Breaking out of the top of the earnings gap. So there you go. Yeah. Really nowhere to hide in this one. Trading got a little spike up to 71.95. You're 40 cents away from that. So see if you can take it through that area. Basis the dailies here. I see a top 73.29 is your next daily resistance level. Had a bad day. That must have been an earnings day when it popped and it dropped, but not much up there to 73.29. I don't know if we'll see that today. We'll see. Mr. Market helps it out, but a classic gap and go, and it's still trying to go.
Lumentum Holdings, LITE, catching an upgrade from JP Morgan. That stock is going to bump its head against its 3-day high. It's actually doing it right now. Got to 53.95 on the 18th. It is just traded up at 53.95 right now, just a few minutes ago here. There's a big gap in there if you really want to get and check it out. Back in November 2018, you gapped on this stock from $55 all the way to line 44. You never quite filled the entire gap, but I think it's rearing up to do that.
It is 55.24. Really nothing in there in the issue. Benefit from the Apple rally yesterday. So we'll use that as a target, trading up $1.70. And I see Apple's also trading green here today as well. So it'd be a nice target. Maybe go 55.20 if potential sell order, and see if it gets up there. Coming back, if this rally begins to fade the top of yesterday's range, you may find support here at 52.21. That's $1.70 away from here. Let's before we move on here, I jotted down four stocks here, and we do them. I just want to do them real quick. Quick
right.
Technical. Spencer, if you see anything in the news, let me know. What did we got? ZS. Never heard of it. New all-time high.
Zscaler trades all the time.
Dude,
that's a popular one.
We had this conversation.
I don't know, Joe. You gotta expand your universe and start adding the recent stocks. This came out a year and a half ago. He hasn't added to his system. Zscaler is a hot one, man. This is Chris Banier. This is my buddy. I talked about this on the show a week ago.
I know.
This is when I was talking with my buddy Chris Banier, and this is one of his biggest picks. And Chris picks these high flyer. He knows how to pick them, and it's up. Look. I talked to him at dinner with him 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "This is the stock, Zscaler. Where was it 2 weeks ago? Like 60. It's 70 now. 71.
Why? Why does he like it? I know I probably asked this before. What do they do? Why does he like it?
It's cloud.
Cloud. Okay. All right.
Dude. What else do we know specifically what they do, Spencer? Zscaler?
No, that's right. They're in like the Splunk universe. It's like Zscaler.
Yeah, they're all the cloud plays.
Yeah.
So from their site, Zscaler is a global cloud-based information security company that provides internet security, web security, next generation fire. Okay, so security in the cloud, we'll call it. Anyways, stock is hot as can be. Great call by Chris on the breakout over 60. It's now been straight up to 70. And we talked about that a week and a half ago.
I'm sorry.
Joel's got the old memory there, so he doesn't remember. Maybe he just decided not to. Maybe he wasn't listening to us that day. But anyways, Zebra Scaler is hot.
Okay. I put a sell stop under $66 here, and I see 2, 3, 4 lows in the 66 handle. So I'd say come and get me and just let it go. If you have a target, pick a target here, but breaking out over $70. Nice. I'll just give you a pre-market high if you want a target and you want to follow through 71.50. CLDR, we talked about this stock quite a bit. Someone wants to know, is it put a bottom in yet? And
this is the opposite of the kind of stock that is working in this environment. It's one that is clearly not in an uptrend. I know we sound like a broken record a lot of times with stuff, but this is in a very clear downtrend from 22 down to 11. Yes, if you're looking, at a potential bottom, 10 is hard support down there, but we've come a long ways from 1550 to 1160. We could go down and retest that $10 level, but this is a stock that is not, despite having the name cloud in it, and all the cloud stocks are hot, this one is not a hot cloud stock.
Okay. It is trading up 7 cents, but man, you're just bumping, against this support here. 3 lows at the 1130 area. So you are 40 cents off that. Use that as a protective stop area. The chart is trying to show you a bottom, but the fact is you're not really bolting out. In fact, you haven't even been able to get over $12 in the last 2 sessions. 2 lower lows, 1182, 1167. The most positive thing is it is trading above yesterday's high. So you want to see it continue through 82. But if you are leaning on the lows here, use a stop 11 or just a little under if you're banking on the low being in. Also, GES, I believe that rallied off its report yesterday. No follow through. Oh, well, it got crushed and then it rallied off its report. This is a tricky one. I guess I would use the high and the close, which are pretty close to each other, 1935. That's your resistance. Above that, there's nothing until you fill the gap at 2187. So if you bought the dip on this one yesterday near the lows from December, January, you want to see follow through right away.
Yeah.
You want to see 1940, 1950, 1960, 1970. That's really the only thing I can say about that. And then the last one here, and then you can do imbalances, Dennis. ZUO.
You like those Z stocks today?
It's not me.
Yeah, well,
it's not me.
They had news. They had earnings this morning.
Okay, give it to us, Spencer.
Or not earnings. Yeah, it was.
They had something.
It was earnings. It was earnings yesterday.
Last night.
Yeah. I'll read you the numbers. EPS 11-cent loss, up from a 32-cent loss a year ago. Sales 64 million versus 51 million dollars last year, and they gave guidance that looks like above estimates on the EPS and the sales there. So.
Okay, torn on this one. This one was in a clear uptrend here. And this is the one thing about earnings. You're holding stock through earnings. I don't care what the chart looks like. You know, they can do some funny things, especially ones that have run straight up into the report. And I don't know if you could say it ran straight up, but it was up yesterday and it's been up for 3 months. It was $15. So some people sitting on some gains. So if there's anything bad in the report, they're probably going to be sellers. 21.15, it's a prime candidate to get bought anywhere near 20. 21.15 is kind of early, but again, it's a stock that's been in favor, so you never know where these buy the dippers start to emerge.
Let's see, your pre-market low 2052, a daily low at 21, and then a couple lows surrounding 2060. So you are, there's some confluence there with the pre-market low and the support. Dennis is mentioning the lows surrounding $20. Your Feb 7th low 1980, your Feb 11th low 2008. So maybe if you're holding out for a little bit more on the short side, see if they can get it down here to $20. And
on that real fast, Steve Roberts in the YouTube chat mentioning that they are changing their counting method. I don't really know anything about the story, so he's saying it's not a good headline. So keep an eye out on that if you are trading ZUO. We have about a minute here before we're going to grab our guest today.
Sure.
Dennis, any update on imbalances?
Yeah, there's some sells. I mean, we're down 14 handles or 15 handles is going to be sells. GE 117,000 to sell. Bank of America 111,000 to sell. CRM is a big one, 69,000 to sell. Just because CRM is a widely traded stock and is a stock that made a new high yesterday on the move. So you're going to see some profit taking, it looks like, in that one. Walmart is the trend. 3 days in a row, I've seen sell imbalances in Walmart. So keep that one in mind if you're trading it overnight. I don't know if that's going to continue to be the trend, but there's 60,000 to sell again here in Walmart this morning. The House of Mouse has just kind of quietly been leaking and leaking and leaking, and it's leaking here again this morning. Disney 73,000 to sell. I mean, this is all probably to do with the Fox deal. Do we know when that closes? Has it closed?
Yes,
is it done?
It closed. It's done.
It's closed, so it's done now. So we don't have to worry about the risk arb stuff going on in here. It's all done. So anyways, it's been leaking though. And you know what? This chart does not look healthy. What do you think of this Disney chart? I mean, this is still, it's fallen off a cliff and it's continuing to fall off the cliff. This could see the lower hundreds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what's all going on with that merger and whatnot, but a lot of air underneath. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess if you want to be super optimistic and you say, okay, you had to move from $100 up to boom, where'd you get to? About 116? Yeah, 108. If we can hold in 108, it just could be like a healthy retracement here. I think, did it take it out yesterday? No, I didn't take it out yesterday. You got a pair of lows to lean on here at 108.05 and 108.37. So needs to hold 108 here or more downside for the House of Mouse.
All right, 8:35. Let's take a break today and break right now, I should say, and grab our guest, Todd Gordon, founder of TradingAnalysis.com. He's also a CNBC contributor. So we'll be right back in a moment here with Todd. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are now joined by Todd Gordon. As I mentioned, his site is tradinganalysis.com. CNBC contributor and very tired father, I think, Todd.
And hungry, apparently,
and hungry.
too.
How's it going?
I
told the guys I put my
what
life
kind of cereal is that?
This is Cinnamon Life. There's no other cereal in the world.
Cinnamon Life.
Oh man, Life is.
I didn't know they made Life in cinnamon. I don't think they do that in Canada.
I'll put
Man,
it up.
we never get the good stuff in Canada. I still got to eat my cinnamon toast crunch. I want to eat Cinnamon Life.
We have good pure maple syrup every morning.
They ship the maple syrup from Canada to you, and then we don't get the Cinnamon Life. This is awful. It's like, it's just like the oil. We ship it down to you guys to find it.
We moved. Canada's only like 90 minutes that way, so we're close. I'm pretty much Canadian.
90 minutes from being Canadian. Todd, I watch you on CNBC all the time. What's going on? You're like a celebrity there. I should ask for your autograph here.
Oh, stop. No. We're good. Just a humble trader. Just trying to make my way through these markets.
You got the best mic. That microphone is awesome. I got this little like $40 headset.
And yeah, this is like a classic broadcasting, the electro voice, something or other. I don't know. I asked somebody who knew and said, this is the studio quality. Whatevs.
And the reason Dennis got the $40 set is because they were out of the $30 set.
Yeah, probably for sure.
Okay.
I do all my shopping at Big
Lots. That's
Lots.
why he's such a good trader. You know, he's always searching value.
That's all I know. I'm a value guy. Yeah, that's right, Todd. I'm a value guy. We know you're a value guy too, but you're a technical guy here, Todd. And tell us what you're seeing. Let's talk the S&P first, because we had a wicked rally yesterday. I mean, everybody was kind of throwing the towel a little bit in the morning when we were down. We're like, oh, is this the start of a new correction? Anybody who thought that was paying for that literally 2 hours later, because we not only got the losses back from yesterday, we ripped up and rallied 300 Dow points. I mean, it was a rip face-off rally for the shorts here. Tell us what the technicals are saying now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a technical guy, but I always trade with the fundamentals. I know what the story is, and I don't make trades based on what the fundamentals are or should be. I base my trades based on what the conventional wisdom permeating the markets, and then you put that through the lens of technicals to just kind of get your context. So that being said, I was pounding the table on the social media and on CNBC that this 2800 to 2820 was going to be just a landmine ripe with a lot of false starts, fits and starts. Anybody who's ever picked up a book on technicals would have seen we had the 200-day, we had old triple top from late 2018. We had the 78% retracement, which is the square root of 61%. That's kind of the retracement of last resort. We had round number 2800. I mean, there was so much reason to be cautious of this level. And then to your point, Dennis, we finally released on the upside yesterday, up through 2854 we closed. I put some longer term Q positions, some broken wing butterflies, which gives us kind of a bullish delta tilt. I'm long. I'm like 65% long in my stock portfolio, but I added some options exposure on the upside. Real quick, geeky fib math, a 786, and I was describing this on the Fast Money desk 2 nights ago. A 78% retracement of the September to December drop, and the SPX was 2,800. The math, the relationship usually says if you break 786, you have a good shot at the 1272, and that's at 3127. I don't know if that's going to happen next week or next year, but I think we got about a 300-point air pocket on the upside, and I'm going to be playing it.
So you're telling me I might win my bet with Joel. I bet Joel that we would see. I bet that we would see, and I might not have enough time on here. I bet we would see new highs by the first day of summer. So I got 3 months here yet. He basically wrote me a call option on 293.94 on the SPY, because that would be the new high. So I got about now it's again.
Dude, we're 80 points from the new highs. Like,
I think we can do it by
3 days.
Summer. I got 3 months. This is a nice call option Joel wrote me.
Yeah.
We were going to go for steak dinner, but we only did lunch.
Oh, I'm glad I downgraded.
What was the premium on that option?
Lunch.
I owe him a few lunches.
Cinnamon Life.
Cinnamon Life. I would not eat my cinnamon life. Now it's going to get soggy, but I'm going to get a new bowl only for Benzinga. Oh, so anyway, this is my last day. Like, this is like a 10-year era. I've got 2 of my kids with the flu looking at me through the window. I just signed Office Space. This is the last interview I'm doing at home, like, ever. This is it. I'm going to an office.
It's nothing worse than a sick kid. How old are your kids?
The twins are 5.
Oh man, you're in the thick here.
And we have a baby. Eden was born, baby girl, on November 1st. So it's
Wow.
it's just pure chaos, but loving it, you know?
And 2 5-year-olds and a new baby. I don't know. You probably don't sleep at all anymore.
Dude, I mean,
What's-
you can just feel, as you get older, you just feel the bags hanging from your eyes.
No, look at my eyes. I mean, they're the bags are there. I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. And
I know you do.
yeah, and the 4-year-old, yeah, he actually did almost sleep through the night last night. The 1-year-old seems to get up every hour. So, anyways, my wife handles some of that. I handle some. We try to, tag team it, but it's a rough. So I'm hoping eventually they'll sleep through the night.
And you got to monitor yourself. If you're not sleeping for whatever reason, like your temperament changes with lack of sleep and trading, you've got to monitor yourself. I found myself getting shorter, not as much patience, willing to play the long game in trading. Like, you got to watch that.
I'm going to tell my wife that, and she can handle the baby at night. We'll see how that goes.
Todd, the reason I want to have you on is I was watching the Fast Money segment here, and you were talking about Netflix and Amazon and all these stocks, and you were giving you were giving your thesis and stuff. And so I sent you an email when you were on the train back, and I said, Todd, you got to come on the show on Friday. I want to buy these stocks, but I'm afraid of heights. And
I totally laughed at that.
Yeah. So just walk us through a setup. I mean, I know you're tight on your risk reward ratios, or, give yourself some room here. Let's just go with Amazon. I mean, after this run here, it kind of it was a little bit of a late bloomer, but caught up here. Oh my gosh, how many up days in a row is this for Amazon? Oh man,
it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A small day on the 14th. 6, 7, 8. It was 8 out of 9.
Upgrade and go. It did. Yeah. Apple did the same thing. It got upgraded. It literally got upgraded, and it's been straight up ever since. So for 5 days in a row. So it was KeyBank that upgraded, I believe, back on the 14th or the 15th, and got like 1704, and then we were up again. And Apple did the same thing. We had a Bank America upgrade, and that you can see on the chart back on March 1st. It does in this case.
It's a regional bank up here in upstate New York.
You know what?
Benzinga, we should upgrade something. Let's
one thing to consider, and we talk about this on the show a lot too, is when everybody's got to buy on Amazon, and Spencer, you can attest to this, because you look at the Pro. When everybody's already at a buy, there's not a lot of people left to upgrade it. So you don't see a lot of upgrades on stocks like Amazon and Apple because everybody's already there. They're already at a buy on it. You might see price target raises, but you often don't see upgrades on the big guns, and that's because everybody's already at a buy on it. So you get one analyst upgrade to buy. It's like, oh, we haven't. When was the last time we had an Amazon upgrade before the KeyBank one, Spencer? I think maybe you can look up that in the background, but it's been a while.
It was 2017, October 2017.
We hadn't had upgrade on Amazon in a year and a half, and people would be shocked to hear that. But when you have like 60, 50 analysts covering it, and 49 are at a buy, who's left to upgrade it?
Right, and then the stock's been consolidations of all of 2019 below 1,700, and finally that 1 out of 50 goes. And Joel, I mentioned this in the show. Full disclosure, I talk my book. I'm completely transparent. I don't have trades on, and I said it on air. I don't have Amazon. I don't have Netflix. I have some Facebook. I don't have Google. And kind of this rush in is a little concerning. That's why I went to the Qs. I did a big Q butterfly position with positive delta. I don't have the trade on. I'm looking at some resistance with that voodoo technicals that I do in 1860 to 1880. So we only have $50 to go. I can't chase either. I don't have the trade on. I'm going to try to find an entry. Netflix looks a little bit better, especially Disney's come off a little bit with the streaming. I don't have the trade on. But if I could kind of bow out of that, I like Facebook. I do have Apple. I've held Apple. I bought Apple after earnings. I'm long at 159. I just held the stock. But in terms of new trades, I don't have sight to put new money to work there yet. But if I can dodge that question, I did put a big bond trade on yesterday in TLT. I don't know if you want to go in that direction.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So TLT, I mean, I just think the Fed, I can't believe this about face that Jerome Powell just did. I mean, we are full on dovish. Everyone knows it. Yeah. Finally, I was just doing a global 10-year yield comparison, US compared to UK, Germany, and someone else, UK, Germany, and someone else. we're finally seeing the U.S. yields catch down to the rest of the world. And there was a major divergence over the last couple of years. U.S. yields driving foreign exchange flows, outpacing the rest of the world. That trade's starting to come off. Jerome Powell, I mean, there's like a 30% chance of a rate cut in the next 3 to 5 months, with the S&P only 100 points off the highs, which I think is very funny. But either way, I mean, TLT, if you look at this, I put the TLT trade I have on, I'll just tell you exactly what it is. TLT in the 26 Aprils, we did a 123, 125, 126 call butterfly, positive delta, trying to take us up to this 124. I feel like bonds are going to go higher either in risk aversion if the S&P and the markets were to sell off, or stocks and bonds going to be in a period of rallying together here. Higher stocks, lower yields. We've tried like 7 times to get through this 124 level in TLT. I feel like
right now.
Right there. I feel like we're finally going to get it. 30 years are up 0.75% here on the open. I feel like we're finally going to get that squeeze higher in bonds.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at the monthly. Go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and that cannot be good news for the financials. And we're looking at the financials getting smacked around here again this morning. It's going to turn into a 3-day sell-off here now because, and it's all to do with rates. I mean, when
100%.
you see Powell get all dovish, they're selling the banks left and right. And Bank of America.
Yep.
Bank of America's down you're talking almost $3 here in a matter of 3 days. It's a huge move. They're talking like an 8-9% down move here in Bank of America in 3 days. JP Morgan, same thing. We were 108 or approaching 108 at least. Yeah, I think we did 108.40. Now we're talking 101. Goldman Sachs, same thing. Although Goldman turned around and got a green candle yesterday, so they were trying to buy that one. But it's down here again this morning. Morgan, Wells, Citi, they're all weak here again this morning. It's been an ugly 3 days for the banks.
Yep, sure has. And can we talk to that point? Can we talk yield curve for a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
I was just looking, and we are very, very close to yield curve inversion on the 10s, 2s. But I was talking to just before the hit 2 nights ago on Fast. I was talking to Tony Dwyer, super nice guy, really smart guy. He's a fellow upstate New York guy. And he was making the point that there's a nice analog of 1995 to where we are today. And if you look at the 10s minus 2s in 95, also heading into 2000, when we start hitting yield curve inversion on that 10s, 2s, it's not like as soon as you go negative, stocks sell off. There's like a 2, 3, and even 4 period from 1995 to 99. There was 4 years of yield curve inversion before the market finally sold off. We're just now getting to that point. There's been precedent of 2 years and 3 years to that point. So we're just coming into that. I don't think you just sell stocks now because we're at yield curve inversion. We could be in this period, like exploratory period of 2 to 4 years of that. And then eventually the Fed will choke off the stock market rally, but I don't think we're there yet.
And I mean, if you look what happened from 95 to 99, the market was straight up in those years.
100%. 100%. Yeah. We could be in a melt up. I don't know. We could be going right.
Felt that way yesterday. And I mean, anybody who was short this market off the hop was probably really feeling like the melt up because, like I said, it was a rip your face off rally if you were short that market. What stocks? Let's go specific stocks here.
Yeah.
If we are going to continue higher here, what stocks? You were talking Amazon, you talked the big ones. You got any other things you're watching right now?
I'm running a portfolio here. I added XLRE. I mean, how do you not with lower yields? Real estate.
Good point.
AMD finally caught up. This whole bifurcated semis was just driving everyone nuts. Maybe you guys as well. Some semis are weak, some are strong. Finally we got AMD coming back. NVIDIA starting to show life. So I've got AMD in the portfolio. Added some more Twilio, kind of the second tier service. I use Twilio.
All stocks making new highs.
Yeah, Twilio, Zendesk, Roku. That one's acting well. Fortinet, FTNT, that's got a good one. I've got some pretty random. Lulu is coming up on earnings, I think. On the
got downgraded this morning, but
Oh, that sucks.
That happens though. That happens to me almost every day because often overnight I have 40 or 50 positions. There's always something getting upgraded, something getting downgraded. So
right.
Yeah, so the analysts, definitely don't help you out sometimes.
What? I'm going to throw you a tough one here, Todd. Biogen.
Oh, geez, yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No thanks. I'm not going to touch that one. That's a tough one.
Okay.
In terms of Lulu, we have earnings coming up here. I'm going to put some options trades on. I think we have a pretty good technical position in the pullback. Lulu's been one of these high-flying new age tech service apparel, yoga wear company. But I think it's in a good technical position. Earnings coming up next week. We got really high implied volatility. So I'm going to put some upside, kind of short Vega, butterfly trades on, see if we can move up. I added it to the stock portfolio like Lulu. And it's just such a stock picker's market here. But it's interesting, as you guys mentioned, we've just got a rotation back into FANG. Semis are starting to show clarity, but we're seeing that relative strength of the overall tech to the S&P start to pick up. So feels like we're back in a tech rally here. So I think we got to get more aggressive.
Even old school tech is rallying. I mean, Cisco's making new highs here. Intel made new highs in the move yesterday, and that's going along with the semis. But look at IBM. Look at Big Blue. Breaking out over 140. I mean, not that it's back, but I mean, this has been a pretty nice rally for this year. We started the year around 112 up to 141. It's got to be one of your best performers, at least from the big stocks.
And then talk about, like you said, Cisco. What a sneaky! Just all of a sudden we're at 53 bucks, and Cisco just ripping.
Yeah, when did that happen?
I know. And then Intel, another 50. That 50 break in Intel. I mean, what are we? 53, 54 at this point?
Yeah,
what a nice slope. Yeah. What a nice push up through on Intel and Microsoft new highs. I don't know, man. Party like it's 1999.
What would you turn you bearish here in the S&P as far as levels? I mean, to me, I always keep an eye on the high close of the move, right? And we blew away the high close for the move yesterday. So just you got one level or an area?
The one thorn in our side, I think, continues to be small caps. What level in the S&P, I don't, but I mean, can we go? The rut is at a 61% retracement of the SEP to December drop. We need to get rut playing catch up here. Small caps, we got to get that risk in the small caps going. Or if it's just truly capital going into multinationals with the weaker dollar, maybe it won't be much of an issue. But I just want to say, put the small caps on notice. And then, as I said, the 78% is my line in the sand for an LE Wave FIB guy. That was at 2802 in the SPX. We're through it. I don't have much reason at this point to say, oh, I'm going to go out and short this market. It would take something catastrophic for me to reduce risk on the long side.
Okay.
Totally dodge that answer. So hope you don't.
No, that's good. We don't have time to talk about the Derby preps yet, so we will do that. I'll just tell you, there's a horse in there. If you're going to go with names, Harvey Wallbanger.
Harvey Wallbanger. That's an interesting.
That's a Drake, isn't it?
All right. Well, Todd, we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks much for your time. Good luck with the move. I hope the kids get better. We really enjoy having you on, Todd. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys, so much. Happy Friday. Good weekend.
Okay.
All
right.
That was fun.
That was
fun.
That was great. So while that was going on,
but for us,
Papa John's decided to add Shaquille O'Neal to their board. Yes, Shaquille O'Neal, aka
the basketball player,
the Big Diesel, aka Superman, aka Shaq Daddy, aka the Big Cactus. What nicknames am I missing? AKA
the 52%.
I don't know, but Shaq is making pizzas now, and it got a pop on that. I'm very surprised.
Well, he eats a lot of food, so I mean, if he's going to be involved in the board, there's going to be a lot of Papa John's pizza consumed. So I see it. I can see why we're up 4%. He eats. That guy eats. What is he? 7'5"?
Not quite.
No,
he's like 7'2".
He's tall.
He's like 7'2".
7'2".
He's a big guy.
Like the ninth wonder of the world, next to Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not get going on wrestling, Dennis, here. We've already been distracted quite a bit.
We're doing the wrestling show. It's going to happen. We're going to cover next time WWE has an earnings report. Look on the calendar. We're going to get some wrestlers on this show that are investors. Let's hunt these guys down. Joel, you're good with that email. Let's send some emails out there. We're going to get some wrestlers on this show. Or you're going to have trouble getting Andre the Giant. But, there's definitely some wrestlers you can get.
Spike up to 49.80. You've repealed off that level. Just call it $50 if you're looking for resistance. On the dailies, 49.51 stood out as a high to me on November 29th. Then the pre-market high, and then your next move higher is when I roll this takeover or merger or going private talk was. And the high on November 28th is 51.65. I don't know if we are going to see that today. And I know Domino's Pizza got an upgrade from JP Morgan a couple days ago, and it didn't do much. But boy, if leaning on support here, I just wanted
almost leaning for too long.
Yeah,
so
I know.
When they, and Guy Domi from Fast Money makes this point, when they give you a chance to buy the low or to sell the high for this long, a lot of times it's going, if it's like this and it's going lower, if it's bumping up against the highs and it's up there forever, a lot of times that means it's probably not the high and it's going higher. So they give you a chance to sell the high for 3-4 weeks. It usually means consolidating, that it's going to eventually break out to the upside. And in a case like this, where it's been sitting down here near support for 3 or 4 weeks, it's sat down here too long now. It makes me think it's actually going lower.
All right, I wrote down some tickers in the chat. Let's cover them real quickly. First one is Boeing meeting with Indonesian authorities today, who had been the first to come out and publicly cancel I think a $4 billion order or $5 billion order for 737s here. Meeting with him today about that. What do you do here with Boeing?
It's support is support until it's broken. I mean, and maybe it's going to be one of those scenarios where it actually breaches and gets down to 360, shakes everybody out, and then gets back up it. But for whatever reason, there's been some very bad headlines, in my opinion, coming in the last 3-4 days, and the stock refuses to go down. So again, it's the same story. We're getting a bad headline here this morning. The stock is down in the pre-market. Are they going to buy it right back up? That's what they've done every single time. So it's hard to be a seller here on it until you seriously get through that 360. So I'd say it's just, there's buyers below here for whatever reason until they go away.
Yeah, this is a tough one because it's not bolting out of here, and it's not taking out the lows of the move. So we kind of talked about this one yesterday. If you don't know the news and you live in a cave, then you're just looking at the technicals here. You have an area to lead. Boy, the ranges are getting smaller and smaller.
It's getting ready to do something.
Oh, I wonder.
It's either going to rip or it's going to have one. If it gets one positive headline, it's going to rip higher. But the question is there just a bad enough headline coming that eventually it does take out support? I mean, I would have thought, when they had the criminal investigation headline there, what did we get, like 2 days ago? It was a really bad one after hours, and the stock went from 375 down to 367. I thought that was the headline that was going to knock the stock down. Was that yesterday or the day before, Spencer? Do you remember the headline I'm talking about?
It was late on, I believe, late on Wednesday.
What was that headline?
Seattle Times reported a criminal investigation so
it sounded like a really bad headline. The market hit it and they bought it right back again. So until they stop buying the bad news, it's hard to be short here. So I don't know. This is a coin flip, though. Is a consolidation to go lower? Like you were saying, if you were just looking at the technicals and you didn't know anything about the headlines here, I mean, this is now hung out, this 360 handle for quite a while. You'd think this is probably consolidation to eventually go lower. But, I mean, I've seen multiple headlines that could have drove us down there, and they've shrugged those off. So I'm torn here on Boeing. Very torn. No position. I have trouble even making a call on it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I would love to do, I would love not to have it, like not make a call and look at like a strangle or something, but I'm sure that the option premiums are just so jacked. I mean, I guess you could do a straddle, but then it sits there for another 2 weeks. And
the option premiums are jacked, like you said. So
yeah,
tough to even put it that way. It's a tough trade right now.
Okay. Fun show today, Triple D. Someone said you drank too much coffee, and then I told them you don't drink coffee.
No, I don't take. Yeah, I have the odd beer, but yeah, I don't drink any. I basically don't take any stimulants at all. But I don't know. I don't sleep either, so maybe if I started sleeping more, I'd have even more energy. But I don't know. Anyway, it's a very exciting weekend. We got the brackets, we got the madness, we got all kinds of fun things happening. So everybody, enjoy the tourney. Enjoy the Friday trade, and hopefully, and enjoy probably the buy the dippers.
Okay. All right. Spencer, what do you got? You got one more show before you take a little vacation?
Yeah,
You're going to be with us on Monday, right?
Yeah, I'll be here Monday, and then I'll be out the rest of the week. You should go along Disney because I'm heading down to Florida, and I'm bringing my wallet. But
Oh, nice. You're going to visit the House of Mouse.
Yep. That is exactly.
I did that last year with my kids. Where are you staying?
My kids and I are going to. We're staying at an Airbnb. I believe.
Nice.
I'm going. Well, we actually have a wedding, so we're going to the wedding and Disney. But that'll be next.
So
week.
you are going to go to the Magic Kingdom?
Yes. Magic, Epcot, and what's the last one? No. Universal. So not Disney, but
What about
good.
You know where I want to go? And man, what do they call Blizzard Beach?
I've been there.
Have you been there?
Yeah, but many years ago. Yeah.
Oh man, I got to do that slide, man. That big old slide.
Are you into water slides, Joel?
What do
You're
you
a swimmer,
think?
but I didn't know you'd be into water slides too.
Oh man, I love like water slides. Like you can even get going faster if you get like a running start, and then
Don't hurt yourself.
No, man, we used to do that. We used to switch lanes. You know, you're not supposed to do that.
You always did everything you weren't supposed to do.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's
you got kicked out of the water slide parks when you were a kid, didn't you?
I don't remember.
Well, I'm kicking you off the show right now. That'll be it for us today. If you missed any part of our show, catch our podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcast. Thanks to our guest Todd Gordon. Thanks to everybody in our chats. Everyone have a good weekend, and we will see you on Monday.